Shanna Moakler claims the Kardashians destroyed her family, and she's not staying silent. Good day and welcome back to Celebrity Watchdog, the channel that watches the celebrities so you do not have to. Now, before we get into today's episode, I need you to brace yourself, because this story has betrayal, supermodels, reality TV royalty, a biker rock star, and one very angry ex-wife who has officially had enough. If you thought the Kardashians had already been involved in enough drama to last 3 lifetimes, buckle up, because Shanna Moakler just walked into the room, and she is not here to make friends. Quick favor, if you are loving this already, hit that subscribe button right now. Over 92% of viewers watching have not subscribed yet. It is free, takes a second, and means the world to us. Thanks. If you did, you are officially part of the Watchdog Pack. Now back to the show. So here is the setup. Shanna Moakler, former Miss USA, Playboy model, actress, and one-time queen of the biker rock world as the wife of Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker, has been carrying what she describes as a decade-long wound. And that wound, according to Shanna, has a very specific name stitched across it. Actually, more like a whole family name. You guessed it, Kardashian. Now let us go back to where this whole thing started, because context is everything. Shanna and Travis Barker were married in 2004. On paper, they were one of those couples that made absolutely no sense and yet made complete sense at the same time. A pageant queen and a tattooed punk rock drummer living their best chaotic celebrity life. They had 2 kids together, Landon and Alabama, and by all accounts, it was loud, unconventional, and very real. But by 2006, things had started falling apart. They separated, they got back together, they separated again. The divorce was finalized in 2008. It was messy, it was public, and Shanna was very vocal about the fact that it hurt. But here is where the story gets a second act that nobody saw coming. Travis Barker, after years of being one of Hollywood's most eligible tattooed bachelors, eventually started spending more and more time in the orbit of one very specific family. You know them, the whole world knows them, the Kardashian-Jenner empire. And somewhere in between keeping up with all of that, Travis and Kourtney Kardashian became an item. Then they became engaged. Then they had one of the most extravagantly theatrical weddings in celebrity history, complete with Italian castles, matching tattoos, and more cameras than a NASA launch. They got married in 2022, and the world absolutely lost its mind about it. But while the rest of the world was watching Travis, yes, that is actually what people call them, post-matching outfits and couple tattoos, Shanna Moakler was watching something entirely different. She was watching what she says was the systematic erosion of her family. Now here is where it gets genuinely uncomfortable, because Shanna has gone on record multiple times saying that the Kardashians did not just swoop in and win Travis's heart. She claims they actively pulled her children away from her. She has said in interviews, on podcasts, and on social media that her kids Landon and Alabama have grown increasingly distant from her, and that their closeness with the Kardashian family has come at the direct expense of their relationship with her. She has described feeling like an outsider in her own children's lives, and she has been devastatingly blunt about who she holds responsible. Let that sink in for a second. This is not just a woman who is bitter about her ex moving on. This is a mother saying she lost her kids, not through a custody battle in a courtroom, but through what she calls a slow, glamorous, well-documented takeover. And whether you believe her or side with the Kardashians on this, you cannot deny that the accusation alone is absolutely shattering. But wait, because it gets even more layered than that. Alabama Barker, Shanna and Travis's daughter, has been pretty vocal on social media herself, and her posts have not exactly been a ringing endorsement of Team Mom. Alabama has publicly clapped back at Shanna more than once, defending her dad and by extension the Kardashian family. There have been social media exchanges between the two that felt less like a mother-daughter disagreement and more like 2 opposing PR teams going to war in the comment section. It is uncomfortable, it is public, and it is exactly the kind of thing that reminds you that celebrity drama has real human beings at the center of it, not just character screens.
Shanna has talked about how isolating it has been to watch her children seemingly choose a side and have that side broadcast to millions of followers. She has described the pain of seeing her kids show up in Kardashian content, at Kardashian events, in Kardashian spaces, while her own relationship with them felt like it was quietly being edited out of the narrative. And if you have ever felt left out of something that used to be yours, even on a fraction of this scale, you know exactly how deep that kind of pain cuts. Now, the Kardashians, as a family unit with a very well-oiled PR machine, have largely stayed silent on Shanna's specific accusations. Kourtney has not gone on any podcast to fire back. Kris Jenner has not sent out a press release. And honestly, that silence might be the most strategic move of all, because when you respond, you validate. And the Kardashian family did not build a multi-billion-dollar brand by engaging with every person who came for them. But here's the thing about strategic silence. It can also look like guilt, and Shanna has not let that silence stop her from talking. She has kept pushing the conversation forward, and in doing so, she has forced the public to at least ask the question, is there something to this? Let us talk about Travis Barker for a second, because in all of this, he is somehow simultaneously the most central and the most absent figure. Travis went from co-parenting with Shanna to blending his family with one of the most famous families on the planet to having a new baby with Kourtney, all while Shanna was publicly expressing that she felt increasingly cut off from the kids they share. Travis has not exactly been the most vocal defender of Shanna's relationship with their children. And while co-parenting is complicated and we are only ever getting one side of any story, the fact remains that he is the through line in all of this. He is the pivot point, and his choices, who he loves, who he lets into his life, who gets a platform and who does not, have had real consequences for people beyond just himself. Shanna has also spoken about the way the internet has treated her throughout all of this. And look, this is where we have to give her credit, because the internet has not been kind. When you are the ex-wife of a man who then marries into one of the most beloved and culturally dominant families in American entertainment, the world has already decided whose team they are on before you even open your mouth. Shanna has been mocked, dismissed, and accused of simply being jealous, but she has kept talking, and there is something genuinely gutsy about a woman who keeps speaking her truth even when the crowd is booing. Because here is the bigger picture that this whole saga forces us to confront, and this is where Celebrity Watchdog gets real with you for a second. Fame is not a shield, it is actually a magnifying glass. Every crack in a family, every fractured relationship, every moment of genuine pain gets amplified, documented, and commented on by strangers who have never met any of these people. Shanna Moakler is a celebrity, yes, but she is also a mother who says she lost the closeness she had with her children. And whatever you think about how she has handled it publicly, that is a human experience. That is real. The Kardashians are extraordinary at building community. They are remarkable at making people feel like insiders, like you are part of their world. That is literally their superpower. But Shanna's claim is that the same magnetic pull that makes them so irresistible to audiences also created a gravitational force that pulled her family out of her orbit. And once you frame it that way, the story stops being about celebrity gossip and starts being about the quiet casualties of fame. Shanna has hinted that she is not done telling her story. She has suggested that there is more to say, more that has not yet been made public. Whether that turns out to be a book, a docuseries, a long sit-down interview, or just a series of very pointed social media posts, one thing is clear. Shanna Moakler is done being the quiet ex. She is done being the background character in someone else's love story. She has decided that her version of events deserves to be heard, and she is going to make absolutely sure it is. And honestly, whatever your loyalties in this situation, you have to respect the energy, because it takes nerve to go up against one of the most powerful media families in the world with nothing but your own voice and your own truth. No production company behind you, no army of publicists, just the story you lived and the decision to stop keeping it to yourself. The question now is not whether Shanna will keep talking. She clearly will. The question is whether anyone in the Kardashian-Barker universe will eventually respond. And if they do, that's when this story shifts from a slow burn into a full-on wildfire. Until then, Celebrity Watchdog will be right here, watching, analyzing, and breaking it all down for you. Because in this world, the drama does not sleep, and neither do we. Thank you so much for watching. It genuinely means everything. We'll see you in the next one.